This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're glad to have Michelle back with us this morning and once again exploring the connections between Kansas and our sister state to the south, Oklahoma. And she's got a very interesting story for you this morning. I know you're going to love this one. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Deb. I want to continue our look at historical connections between Kansas and Oklahoma. Today, let's learn about a pioneering physician who treated patients in southeast Kansas and the Indian Territory. When Charles Ingalls and his family shivered sick with ague in their small cabin, he thought medical help was 13 miles away in Independence. Little did he know that one of his nearest neighbors was a doctor. Immortalized in the pages of Laura Ingalls Wilder's Little House on the Prairie, Doc Tann visits the family, dispenses medicine, and saves them. Who was Doc Tann, and what is his connection to the Indian Territory? George Tann was born in Pennsylvania in 1835, a free African American. Little is known of his early life and just how he obtained his medical training. Some historians believe he learned to treat illness and injury during the Civil War, when he served as a soldier, or possibly a contracted, eclectic physician. After the close of the war, George moved west to Kansas with his parents, Bennett and Mary, in 1869. Bennett and George both filed for homesteads. Once the Tanns settled, George not only farmed, but also began traveling the countryside, helping all who needed medical care. From administering quinine, delivering babies, and tending the dying, Doc Tann earned a reputation for compassion and honesty. For some of his patients, he was the first African American they had ever met. When the state of Kansas tightened its licensing requirements for doctors, Doc Tann began to travel on horseback or by buggy to the growing community of Bartlesville in the Indian Territory. There he practiced medicine in the home of the Beck family, Cherokee freed persons. His hospital house cared for an array of individuals. He treated any patient who needed his assistance, regardless of race, religion, or ability to pay. In the nearby community of Dewey, he maintained a small office and tended patients there as well. Doc Tann was one of the first physicians to practice in Bartlesville and Dewey. When Indian Territorial officials clamped down on people practicing medicine without proper training or a license, Doc Tann's livelihood was in jeopardy. In a letter to the Cherokee Nation, he declared he would appear before a review board in 1902 and prove his qualifications. We don't know if Doc Tann ever made it before the review board. From 1902 until his death, Doc Tann worked his farmstead along with hired farmhands. On March 31, 1909, after chasing a wayward team of horses, Doc Tann collapsed. He was discovered by one of his farmhands slumped over a fence, the victim of a heart attack or stroke. Residents of southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma mourned the passing of Doc Tann. Today, you can visit his final resting place in Independence, Kansas. I hope you enjoyed learning more about Dr. George Tann, and that you'll join me next time for another historical adventure somewhere around Kansas.
I'm Deb Goodrich. Thank you for sharing part of your day with us. We sure appreciate it. And we'll see you next week. And in the meantime, we'll see you somewhere around Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
In 1821, a trade route was opened from Missouri in the United States across prairies and mountains to Mexico. In 2021, we will mark 200 years of epic conflicts and grand adventures, larger-than-life personalities, and sweeping landscapes. Join us on an historic journey. The Santa Fe Trail lives on.
Find us on social media or santafetrail.org.